Welcome back to part 8 of the Bugatti Bolide design. Uh, in this tutorial, we'll continue on the side of the car. Um, Let me just jump over to our first display state here. So we're going to continue on these surfaces here. We're going to delete these two surfaces here and then create new surfaces because this actually doesn't exist here that we have, and I'm not happy with the surface. It's kind of bulged down a little bit, so we're gonna have to do one surface, and then second surface is going to be all the way back here, so these two surfaces here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to delete. Let's make sure, if you've been following my tutorial on this one step by step, that you do exactly deleting what I'm deleting. So let's delete the mirror here first. Delete that one, and then delete this sketch here. We're going to recreate it, of course. Delete this sketch here, or we can leave it. Actually, let's delete it. Delete this sketch here, and delete the surface wheel here. Okay, and then the only thing we're going to delete is this here, this sketch that we created last time here. So let's delete this one as well. Okay, good. And then we're going to leave these two lines here because they're good and they are perfect for us. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create some scaffoldings in the back here because we need to get these 2 points, and these 2 points is actually falls somewhere around here. So of course, so it's not going to be back here. So to start with, let's start by creating a sketch on this front plane here, and normal to profile. So front plane, normal to profile with that button, and let's grab a center line, construction line, and just drop it somewhere here because that's where it starts. That's where it's going to start. So we're going to drop it right on the corner here, right on that corner. Okay, so we're going to pull it up. So that's one. So exit this one here, and then we're going to make another one, another construction line going from, it's kind of this corner here kind of goes stops somewhere about here. It's hard to see from this spoiler, but we kind of, it starts curving this way, so it's somewhere hiding back here. So let's drop this second line over there. Well, we want a line, a point. No, I mean not a line. We want a point. So let's drop this point here. Exit the sketch, and then let's. Oh, actually, we don't need the point. Delete the point. Let's grab a construction line, center line, and then we're gonna drop it somewhere up here, and then pull it up to here. Okay, and all right. So, and then we're going to get into perspective in this direction here, so we can see our 2 points here, and then exit the sketch, and we're going to jump into a 3D sketch, and it's going to be through this center line. So we're going to add one here, and we want to be on the Y and Z. Y and Z. Exit the sketch, and another center line. Another center line. Pull it out to here. Exit the sketch. Okay, and now let's click on this plane here and press normal to profile. So we check our points, our lines. So our first point is going to fall somewhere about here, so which is good. And our second point is going to fall here, which is also good. Maybe if we can pull this line down a little bit, that would be no, because it's fixed along the z-axis. Okay, but yeah, that should be on point with this corner here. It's a little bit pixelated still, but even though it's a high resolution image. Let's see if we can fix the coincident. Delete it, and let's see if we can pull it down just a little bit. Okay, and then pull this one to that one, so something like that. Hope we haven't made. Let's check if we are on target with that one still. We are on that side, and let's just jump in the back here and check the scaffolding from this side here. Let's turn it around, and then now we are, I think we are way too lower. We are much lower than I wanted, so let's pull it up to about the right place. Yeah, so yeah, that's the place that I was looking for. All right, so let's just double check again that our scaffolding points are at the right place, and they are. Okay, so that's good. And we're going to jump into this view here and exit the sketch. And we're going to jump into a 3D sketch, and let's add a 3D point. And our 3D point is going to start from, well, basically around this exhaust, we have a surface which comes out to about here. So it's a small surface here that is straight. So let's drop that point somewhere along there. And our second point, of course, is going to be here. All right. And then let's check these points. So now our points are at the right place where we want them to be. So let's exit the sketch here. And then we're going to need a second scaffold. So let's make a sketch on this top plane here, normal to profile. And we want to have this corner showing on the front axis, but we won't be able to see where that lines up unless we build this one. So it's kind of a little helper. So let's drop it into this corner here. That's one. Exit. And then, so basically we won't be able to see where we need to stop that surface, right? So let's exit this normal sketch, and let's jump into a 3D centerline sketch. So let's drop that onto there. Make sure we are on the X and Y axis. Let's drop that straight up. Let's have a look. So now we have a clear visual picture where that point is, where we need to stop our curvature. All right, so exit the sketch, and we have a lot of lines to work with here. Let's jump over to our second display state here. And then, yeah, we're looking good here as well. All right. So we have 2 points here. That's the inner one. And this one here is the outer one. So let's add our first 3D curve to that inner one. Let's start from this point and then go to this point here. So that's the inner one. And of course, we need to jump back into our first display state here. And normal to profile. And then we're going to add a tangency. We're going to check the tangency from this way. So hold control with that one. And then press that. So let's pull this a little bit. Also, that's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going after, because this inner surface here is right along where it needs to be, and this surface here in the back, if we look behind it, it drops below the wheel a little bit. All right, so let's grab the handlebar there and maybe just pull a little bit lower. I want this to have a little bit of profile, not too straight. Okay, so that should be fine from this end. And now let's go and fix this from the top. And that looks fine from the top. So there's going to be a small corner here, uppers, all right? So let's maybe pull this a little bit closer, so we are more closer to that edge corner there. Okay, so that completes our first curvature. We can add the line here, or we in the second display state. I like to add my 2D curvatures in a cleaner environment. So let's add the 3D curve, and let's add the 3D curve from here to here. All right, and then let's go into display state 1 and we're going to attack this curvature from this end. All right, so the first thing we want to do is take this line, hold control and this line, and let's add a tangency on that. Okay, and then we're going to take this handlebar here, and we're going to pull this handlebar up until it kind of drops down here. So that's why we have this line here. It's kind of show us where the edge is. So let's see if we can attack that in this way without adding any spline points. Okay, so that should be it basically, because that inner surface kind of drops in, and we can always cut back on this one here. Okay, so let's fix that from the top as well. And that's a surface that actually inside underneath this outer surface. It's a double surface, right? That's what makes it interesting about this one. So pull this maybe here a little bit, so and let's go and check that from this side here. So we are almost on target with that one. So as we can see, the outer curvature is higher than the lower curvature. Okay, so we can't really see the curvature from this side at the moment, because this surface is going to be kind of hidden underneath. All right, so let's exit the sketch, exit the sketch. Okay, and then we're going to add another 3D sketch, 3D spline, And we're going to go from this point to that point, exit the sketch, and let's just jump into this view here by clicking on the plane and normal to profile. And we're just going to add a little bit of profile on this curvature. All right, so that looks good. Exit the sketch. And we're going to add another curvature, another 3D sketch here as well. 3D sketch, 3D spline, and then go from this point here to this point. All right, and let's just jump into view and see that curvature. Okay, so we're going to pull this down to about here and pull this in a little bit more. So that's going to be a good curvature for us in this way. All right, so exit this sketch here. And let's have a look at that spline. That spline is looking good. Okay. That spline is looking very good. All right. So let's jump into the second display set here and let's try and create some surfaces. So let's start with a boundary surface, and we're gonna go from this edge to this edge here. And for direction 2, we're going to choose this line here and this line. And our surface is a lot better now than before. All right, so let's select edge 1 here and add tangency on that. Press OK. So that completes our first surface. It's a lot better surface than before. There's no bulging, and then we have this straight corner here. That what I was looking for. All right. And let's go now and create our second surface here. And this is going to be a fill surface. And let's select the sketches here. And this one here. And for the contact edge, which is going to be S3, let's add tangency. And let's have a look at that surface. So it's a lot better looking surface now. And exactly what we need, right? We have a little bit here, which is what we are looking for. And we have a nice profile on that back part as well. Perfect. All right. Before we mirror this over, we're going to have a look at. We're going to have a look at this other surface here. All right. So the next surface we need to work on is going to be this overlapping surface, which is this part here, and for that we need to find the points for these 2 points here. And obviously we have a cut as well inside this area here where the air flows through. So let's create that cut in the second display state. No, actually we won't be able to see it from here. Okay, so before we do that, let's add a glass appearance glass here, and let's add the blue glass, and let's add to the whole thing here. and then we're going to make a sketch on this top plane. From the blueprint, we can see how the hole really is. We can only guess, but actually that hole is all the way underneath this whole section here, and it kind of goes curve around here and curves back around in this area here. All right, so let's create that sketch, and let's try to use a spline here. That goes all the way around here. And let's add control polygon to this and then fix up this. We don't want that. Let's fix up this cut. All right. So just to remember that this cut is underneath this whole entire surface that's overlapping. So it's kind of a I think it goes something like that, and it goes all the way up this way, this cut. But I leave it to a judgment. Make your cut how you want it. I'm not sure how that cut is right underneath it, but I'm just going for what I feel is going to work. And so maybe we can just move this a little bit here. And that looks like a good cut. Let's exit this sketch. Alright, then we're going to remove this appearance. Okay, let's appearance, remove appearance. I hope I'm not moving too fast, so you're not able to follow me. So let's go to surfaces and trim surface. So let's select the trim tool, and let's select the surface we want to trim on. Okay, so that's actually a very good cut. As we can see, the air can flow all the way through on that cut, so the air flows all the way through out. All right, so let's mirror this over to the other side. Features mirror, and we use front plane, of course, and then bodies to mirror. That's one. And not this one here. Clear selections. So bodies to mirror. The first one and the second one, and then that looks good. And let's just double check our surface. All right, so the surface looks good and the cut looks good. All right. Okay, so we're going to leave this one here, this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we're going to work on this area here, and this surface, this which is overlapping and kind of comes down and come into this area here. And once we done that, we're probably gonna jump back into the front and keep working on the front, and then curve back around to the back, and then probably do the windshield on the next tutorial. All right, so hope you've been able to follow this one, and then of course, if you're just tuning into my channel, don't forget to subscribe and follow my tutorials from part 1 from each of the models that I'm working on. And then yeah, we might learn something together, definitely. All right. Thanks very much. Bye bye.